is a HELOC? So the home equity, it's sitting here. It's a line of credit ready for you to use.
How you can utilize a home equity line of credit to invest as well.
And people are taking the home equity and buying investor properties, buying in Vegas, buying here in Hawaii, buying on another island.
So it's a very powerful wealth building tool that can get you to your goals faster. I love events like this. We get to take away really good resources and make connections, because I see really low-key investors in here, over 10 properties, and they're in here conversating with newbies, people who don't even own their own house yet. So we are headed to get ready for our Maui meetup. First, we have to go visit one of the renovations, head to the warehouse, prep all the things, because during these meetups that we have, the people who are interested in real estate, whether they're realtors, they're beginner investors, whether they're people that are looking to place their money into deals as well, we need to be prepared for all of them. And we have beginners, we have people that are experienced. And so why it's important to go to meetups like this is that you can meet all sorts of people who are headed in that same journey as you. Maybe they are working their job, they want to change. Maybe they are just looking for ways to make more money and improve their lives and build generational wealth. So that's exactly why we do these things. Our meeting today is focused on HELOCs, home equity lines of credit. Now, a lot of people don't know this, that when they own their home, if it goes up in value, so say the market increases, economy is doing well, a lot of times you can tap into that equity difference. And so say you bought a home for $500,000, now it's worth $1 million. You potentially can have access to that $500,000 that's built up in appreciation in your home. So the way you do that is open up a line of credit, or you can refinance your home. But today we're going to be focusing on that. We have a guest speaker, Rose, who is speaking from one of the banks nearby. And then we also are meeting up with Celeste, who's a realtor who's experienced right here on Maui. And so this is also a way that you can connect with different people in the industry that have experience, that have knowledge and expertise in something that you might be looking into. And so, like I mentioned, this is a way where people think, oh man, I don't have a lot of money saved up, or I don't have, access to qualify for funding. Well, there's other ways like home equity lines of credit that you can help you get into real estate. So with that, like and subscribe before we head on into the in-depth portion about home equity line of credit. And then you get to see also behind the scenes of what happens at our meetups. Just got here to the Maui meetup. We have some bingo cards that we're about to play, some blackout bingo, and this helps with people to get to open up a good icebreaker. And when you come to these meetups, you can be the one person who thinks like, oh, I don't know enough, or not really outgoing or scared to meet new people. So definitely going to meetups and participating, you're going to get the most out of the event. So come along and let's go meet some new people. Aloha everybody, thank you guys for coming to our Maui meetup. We're really excited to have you guys come and learn more about real estate investing, and then tonight how you can utilize a home equity line of credit to invest as well. Thank you to Celeste and Sam Keller-Williams for providing this space for us tonight, and also connecting us with Hawaii USA downstairs. So I'll have these lovely ladies introduce themselves and take over the topic.
A little bit of background about myself. I've been with Hawaii USA for about 8 years now as a branch manager. Prior to that, I was with Territorial Savings Bank, and before that, I was with Title Guarantee Escrow for about 16 years.
Hi everybody, here. I know it's precious time, but it's valuable also to help us in our home development. So my name is Dora and I'm downstairs with Hawaii USA. I've been with the company for 21 years, downstairs in the same location. Our credit union is Teachers Educational Credit Union, so that's why we like to teach and share our knowledge. Tonight I'm going to start with what is a HELOC. So some of you may know what it is, some may not, but just a quick touch on it. So HELOC is abbreviation for Home Equity Line of Credit. So basically, they take the equity from your existing home and create a loan from it, and we use the home as collateral for payment back. The benefits of the home equity is that you have a lower interest rate, lower monthly payment, so it allows you the opportunity to use the line as you need it. It is for fee simple properties only. We don't do lease properties, so fee simple properties only. So that's the basics of a HELOC. Do with a HELOC, you can pretty much use it for home improvements, repairs on existing homes, consolidate credit cards, pay for tuition, medical, dental, even to start your own business. You can use the line of credit for all that to start your own business. That's a huge plus. Also, you can use it for down payment of a new property. You can do it for investment of another property. And also for fun. I mean, vacation, travel, family reunions. The line of credit is endless. And another feature and benefit is that the interest may be tax deductible because it is a mortgage. It's collateral against your property. But we always advise check with your tax person to see where you fall in that category. But it is a mortgage, so it can be tax deductible. Looking at the debt ratio right off the bat tells us that, okay, they can take on additional debt. They qualify for that 200,000, 150, whatever their amount is. So that way we can then proceed. So now we know that the debt ratio is within the guidelines. They can take on the additional debt. Now we'll move on to the valuation to make sure that the equity is there. Because if the debt ratio is an issue, it may not matter that they have a high equity because they can't take on more debt. So we start with them at that time. We don't just say no, we start, hey, the debt ratio is as this. Do you have anything? Has anything changed financially? Is there additional income? Do you have rent? A part-time job? So we try to finance the loan where it's sound for them and for us.
Prices are getting more and more expensive right here in Hawaii, so there's no better way to learn real estate through coaches that are active right here in Hawaii.
So come join us today. We're excited to have you start your journey and be there to support you.
But it's right away.
Yeah, it's pretty much, So sometimes we've seen within 24 hours of submitting, as long as you provide us the verification of income, we can give you a conditional approval based on that. So as complete of an application as possible, especially for the verification of income, okay? And also, for instance, should husband and wife are able to qualify, we may be able to add an additional third borrower. However, that third borrower, we need to justify it. Like, what's the interest? Like for instance, a lot of times they're like, oh, my kids live in that property. Can my son be in the loan? I said, okay, they have interest in the property. However, that is based on, we need to get that approved. Based on our underwriters to approve that third borrower to be on the loan. Okay. And it's usually within 2 or 3 days.
Benefit of doing the HELOC instead of the first mortgage is, there's so many, but I'll start with the first mortgage. If you apply for $500,000, you're gonna get that money cashed out right out front, and you're gonna start paying interest on that $500,000 from day one. The home equity, it's sitting here. It's a line of credit ready for you to use. You only pay when you use it. And the closing costs on the HELOC, there's none. It's the 500 that we talked about. Well, there is if you decide not to do the waiver. Opposed to the first mortgage, you have $10,000 to $15,000 in closing costs through escrow and whatnot. So that's the other, and also doing the HELOC, you get the 0.25% discount on the interest rate for us being first mortgage on there, first lien.
Yes. In addition to that, for the first mortgage, the payment stays the same. Say it's $2,500, it's going to be $2,500 all the way to your term. Whereas the HELOC, as you pay it down, then becomes smaller and smaller. We only require you to pay interest only if that is what you wish. Otherwise, it's very flexible. And the nice thing is that it's revolving. So whatever you pay down, it's all available again for you to use. If you want to buy another property, hey, you can certainly do that.
And people are taking the home equity and buying investor properties, buying in Vegas, buying here in Hawaii, buying on another island. So they can do that, with their home equity. It's endless, the possibility.
For me, I have 8 home equity lines of credit, and it's been very beneficial for me to grow my portfolio, buy another property, and then the next, and the next. And then, like they mentioned, for some that are don't have a mortgage, you can then get a line of credit and only use that amount that you need, and then start paying on that interest just on that amount. So it's a very powerful wealth building tool that can get you to your goals faster. And so just want to thank you, ladies. For those who are going to stay, we're going to do a little activity and then have Q&A as well after. I know you guys got to go.
Yeah.
So
Thank you so much.
So we're just going to do a little networking activity, and then we'll do a Q&A after that. But I hope you guys learned something new, got some takeaways. There's a few experienced investors in here who have already used lines of credit, already bought properties with it. And like I mentioned, I have 8, and all of those I've used to buy other properties as well. So it can help accelerate your wealth faster, help you get into more properties, but just make sure you're not over leveraged. So make sure that you can make these payments, especially like she mentioned, you might be paying interest only for a couple years, and then after the lock period expires, you might be just at a variable rate. So that means that your payment will change. So you just have to be prepared for that. So we're gonna do a little networking activity. We want you guys to pair up with somebody, get their name, where they're from, somebody you haven't met before. Not met before. Name, where you're from, and then kind of what brought you here tonight, and then we're gonna have you guys introduce each other. So you have 5 minutes. So we started this meetup a little bit earlier, and people were still getting off of work, so trickling in, and we had some ladies from the bank come in and talk about home equity line of credit, Hawaii USA Federal Credit Union. And it was very interesting them talking about different ways to utilize lines of credit. So a lot of people, whenever they think of purchasing homes, they think of getting a first mortgage. So that's the initial loan that they get to purchase the home. But they don't realize that a lot of times they can utilize even more equity or more of the home's value to then pull out and then use that line of credit to go and invest and buy another investment property. So that's an easy way to get started. Even if you're just a regular homeowner and you want to get maybe a one rental property and maybe not even necessarily invest, but it is a way where you can tap into that. And then you have different options with that. You can fix up your own home, which a lot of people do. You can buy a rental property, or you can use that debt to now go and invest in something like do private lending that will make, as long as the interest, you'll make more interest than what you are currently paying. So the ladies tonight said the interest rates for a line of credit are landing at about 5 to 6%, just like the typical mortgage rates today. So it's just something to be aware of, is that you can apply for this line of credit and you only pay interest and pay a monthly payment on it if you pull it out. So if it is something you're thinking about, then definitely look into it, look into your local banks and see if they have any specials right now. And I know because there's less people taking out mortgages and less people buying right now, that the banks are being a little bit more flexible with their qualifications and then also with their rates and what they could provide as an introductory rate as well. So we have a lot of people in the room who already, I think majority of the people in here already owned homes, which is great because this is a topic that you need to actually own a home in order to utilize. So with that, they can then have more options to tap into that equity. So let's go check in right now. They are networking, just getting to know each other. And then we're going to have a short Q&A, wrap it up. And I love events like this because it's more casual. We get to know one another, but also you get to take away really good resources and make connections, because I see really low key investors in here who aren't really talking that own, over 10 properties, and they're in here conversating with newbies, people who don't even own their own house yet. So that's a benefit of coming to networking events like this, is that you get to meet some experienced people and really just get a feel for who else is on this journey along with you. Maybe some potential deals that investors would be interested in.
So I think Zasha's mom might want it because it's near her. It's in Pukalani and it's the lowest price 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And the extension that they added on is 500 square feet or so that you can just wall off the door and you have a rental already. So
Because a lot of times they're pulling their funds from different sources. So it's not always like federally funded or like backed by the federal government. So that's what I would say, is there more flexibility, but they may charge you more, right? It's more expensive sometimes to go that route.
So like Hawaii FCU only can offer their products, but a mortgage broker could offer like Hawaii FCU products, FHB products, BOH products, like, or anybody else, or like
She said it was only
any
like
private money
$500
site.
closing costs, and I was like surprised because usually the closing costs cost a lot.
We just wrapped up our Maui meetup. We had some people come in and talk about HELOCs, and now everybody's just networking, which is the whole point of having these. So if you guys are interested in coming to our next event, go to huimastermind.com/events. We also have it up on the tab, the little tab there. And comment below, where do you want us to have our next meetup? We go to different islands at different times, but we want to get some feedback from you and also what you're interested in. We'd love to help you as well. So again, huimastermind.com, like and subscribe this video so that it gives us a push to do even more. So we'll see you on the next one.